honor of Grayskull!
The past few years have seen unprecedented changes within the eternal land of Quel'Thalas. The Blood Elves, following the will of their crazed leader Kael'thas Sunstrider, channeled dangerous, chaotic magics to transform their sacred Sunwell into a gateway of unspeakable evil. While Kael'thas and his demonic masters were eventually defeated, a different kind of transformation occurred within the Sunwell itself, as a dying Naru sacrificed its life essence to reignite the Sunwell into a fount of holy energy. Now, the Blood Elf Regent Lorthamar Theron sees a new hope on the horizon for his people. Over time, the Sunwell's light could cure the Blood Elves of their cursed state, but many still cling to the arcane powers they've procured and are hesitant to relinquish them. As one of the remaining Blood Elves, you must fight to protect Quel'Thalas and help redeem the soul of your ancient people.
The sooner you begin your education, the better for us all. There is little room for error, so listen closely. The burning crystals, the green floating objects to the west of the Sunspire here, have long been used to power the Isle's experimentations. The mana worms were their guardians, but the Scourge invasion of Quel'Thalas has driven them errant from our lack of magical control over them. There is little choice but to thin their numbers for reclamation. Do this, then return to me.
Keep your wits about you.
You have successfully completed your first task. For that, you are to be congratulated. Such success gives me faith that you will turn out better than those young blood elves who fail to heed the lessons of their masters. Continued success will be rewarded not only with knowledge, but also with tangible rewards as well. Your work here, however, is not finished. There is much more to learn, my young friend. Your effort has made something clear that, honestly, I wish were not true. The unchecked power of the burning crystals has maligned a much larger swath of the Isle's natural balance than I thought. We must now take on more unfortunate measures to reclaim control. The nearby lynxes have succumbed to the influence of the crystals, and they must be put down. Bring their colors, as I may yet be able to fashion a magical restraint to turn some back from being uncontrolled.
Shorel Oran. Narcissius. Death to all who oppose us. Glory to the Sindorai.
The tower and surrounding areas should now be relatively secure, though only for the time being. You have done well in providing us with a buffer of security, but we will need to reassert control over the entire Isle if we are to survive here in the long run. This will involve tackling much greater threats than errant mana worms and lynxes. Take this. You will no doubt make good use of it for the tasks to come. You are to report to my assistant, Lanthan Perilon. He will instruct you on what needs to be done next. While we here at the Sunspire will continue to reign in the burning crystals, you will be focused on a more pressing matter concerning Falthrian Academy. Lanthan will explain fully when you speak to him. Simply walk west of here along the path, and you should see him standing close by. Good luck. Your continued successes shall be rewarded.
Be ready for anything. Our enemies will fall. Shoreloran.
Glory to the Sindorai. Keep your wits about you.
Glory to the Sindorai. Time is of the essence.
The dark times will pass. Shoreloran.
The dark times will pass. Stay the course.
We will persevere. We will have justice.
State your business. Remember the sun well.
Anaria Shola. Time is of the essence.
Hello. Stay focused.
Do not loiter. Salama Ashalinore.
The eternal sun guides us.
Day after day I stand here watching, waiting. I've been accused of dwelling too much on our past, while my eyes look to the horizon. But it is my firm belief that each visitor to this island should honor those who have sacrificed all, so that they may continue to do so. Dathramar Sunstrider was our first king. He led us here from Kalendor through the Maelstrom. Seek out his shrine to the west, and do not return to me until you have read the plaque upon it in his honor.
Remember the sun well.
With all the chaos happening here at the Sunspire, I haven't had a chance to collect my belongings I've left outside at various places on the Isle. I must maintain my vigil over the Sunwell here, so I'll ask you to collect them in my stead. I need my scrying orb, my scroll of scourge magic, and my journal. use this satchel for some extra space, as my things are rather bulky. Return them to me, and I'll give you a little something you know. For the effort, you can keep the satchel as well.
Farewell.
It's a shame that we've lost control of many of the creatures here on the island. This was once a tranquil place of study and research. Now it's all we can do to keep from being attacked by our own creations. I'm going to offer you a chance to receive a magical boon in exchange for some collecting work on your part. Bring me a stack of arcane slivers that are found on the mana using creatures of Sunstrider Isle, and I will cast a spell on you that should aid your adventures on the Isle.
Remember the Sunwell.
If there is only one lesson you deign to remember from your time on Sunstrider Isle, let it be this: control your thirst for magic. It is a thirst unending. What you absorb must be controlled and released via arcane torrent. Failure is to become one of the wretched, hopelessly addicted and insane. Seek out a mana worm and unleash your arcane torrent upon it. Learn to master your power. When you have sufficiently released an arcane torrent, return to me.
We will have justice.
Everything has a price. Shurelaron.
Magistrix Arona told me you'd be along quick enough. The Falthrian Academy to our west, the huge floating building with the ornate spires, is in bad shape. You're going to be leading the effort to recapture it from one of the wretched Du, who has forever succumbed to their basest cravings. I hope you're ready to work. This is not only going to be a lesson about danger, but also of what happens when you forsake the realities of who you are. Before sending you to the Academy, I want you on another task that needs to be dealt with immediately. Once used to aid us in the gardening of Sunstrider Isle, the bestial tenders now have grown out of our control. Clear them out with due haste, but be warned their lack of control has made them aggressive. It is such aggression that forces us to put down these once gentle servants. It doesn't please me to ask you to do such a task, but survival is survival. I'll mourn later.
Keep your wits about you.
While the deaths of the tenders give me no joy whatsoever, it does show me that you're ready for the most important task you'll do here on Sunstrider Isle. Take this and put it to good use. You'll need good items and sharp wits for the task ahead. Our reassertion of control over the island depends on it. A betrayer of our people resides atop Falthrian Academy to the southwest. Felindrin is his name, from Blood Elf lands for failing to heed the warnings of our teachers and elders. He is the worst of our society, as he lives only to feed his insatiable magical addictions. He refused to learn control. He is a shell of his former self, one of the wretched too, and he is a threat to the Sunspire. Destroy him and the wraiths he uses as minions.
Hold your head high.
State your business.
We will have justice.
You've done well today. Your willingness to learn shows that you may very well rise above the unyielding cravings you must endure as a... Rest not on your laurels, young one, but instead seek to master what you have learned. Only through diligence will we as a race survive. Take this, it may be of some use to you. Go now and bring glory once more to our people.
Shorel Aran.
Anu Belore de la Na.
Splendid, these will do nicely. I've been doing quite a bit of thinking on the current malaise Sunstrider Isle suffers under. One possible course of action I had pondered was to collect these arcane slivers from the beasts on the isle. In doing so, they could be experimented on. This would provide a potential source of culpability. Anyway, I will tend to the research. Allow me to place this incantation on you. I believe you'll make good use of it.
Salama Ashalanore.
Belore della Na.
Thank you for sharing your experience at the Shrine of Dathramar. First off, you should be commended for your sense of duty and respect. It will serve you well not only here, but in all of Azeroth as well. As for the odd sensation, it is no doubt a contributing part of the taint that has befallen Sunstrider Isle. We shall keep an eye on it. Thank you for alerting us to it.
Keep your wits about you.
Well done knew you'd be perfect for the task. Once it's safe to make use of our outdoor facilities on the Isle, I'll be putting these things to good use. Like I mentioned, please feel free to keep the satchel. Also, you may find this piece of armor to be useful. Consider it ample compensation for a simple task performed dutifully.
Shorel-Aran.
A betrayer of our people resides atop Falthrian Academy to the southwest. Felindrin is his name, from Blood Elf lands for failing to heed the warnings of our teachers and elders. He is the worst of our society, as he lives only to feed his insatiable magical addictions. He refused to learn control. He is a shell of his former self, one of the wretched two, and he is a threat to the Sunspire. Destroy him and the wraiths he uses as minions.
You've found an odd sliver of crystallized mana on the corpse of the tainted arcane wraith. The sliver is different than others you may have seen, in that it is as dark and sinister looking as the wraith you looted it from. Just holding it gives you a sense of unnatural foreboding. Arcanist Helion at the gazebo of the Sunspire on Sunstrider Isle just might be someone who would have a use for the sliver.
Take heart. Your friends will not long mourn your passing.
Glory to the Sindorai.
This is most interesting. And when I say interesting, I mean more disturbing than anything else. Our efforts to reassert control over the Isle and the time following the destruction of the Sunwell have been a challenge. I suspect that whatever foul source is corrupting the Isle is at the heart of it all. This sliver may be of some aid in uncovering what's really going on. You were wise to bring this to me. Take this as compensation for your diligence. Thank you.
Time is of the essence.
I have one-of-a-kind items. Be ready for anything.
We will persevere.
Felindren's head. You are to be commended. You've succeeded where others, like Felindren, have utterly failed. Perhaps you are truly ready to be a contributing member of society. Your success here means that you are capable of surviving the greater threats that lurk in Eversong. And believe me, there are plenty to face. Magistrix Erona wanted you to head over to Silvermoon City in order to aid our reclamation efforts there. That is, once you had successfully addressed the situation at Falthrian Academy. You did not disappoint us. On your way to Falkowing Square, south of here, you should speak with Outrunner Alarian. She's not far from the bridge. The Outrunners take care of shuttling goods between here and the mainland, and since you've proven to be so resourceful, they could use your assistance.
We will have justice.
Well, hello there. I heard that a resourceful young, formerly in the service of Magistrix, Erona might be making their way down here to help us Outrunners out. We certainly welcome the help, especially from someone who's proven to be so competent. I hope you're interested in running an errand or two for us. It's hard work being an outrunner between Sunstrider Isle and Falconwing Square. Tight deadlines, long hours, and worst of all, the wretched! The road south goes through the ruins of Silvermoon. The place is crawling with wretched ready to kill you for a few mana crystals. Unfortunately, I think that's what happened to the last outrunner we sent with one of Erona's packages. I see you're eager to prove yourself. Venture into Dawning Lane and see if you can find any traces of our outrunner.
The reckoning is at hand.
The Outrunner's belongings have all been stolen with the exception of one package. It seems to match Alarian's description of Erona's package. You take the package and confirm that indeed it comes from Magistrix Erona. Alarian would probably want you to bring it to her.
Glory to the Sindorai.
By the Sunwell! That's the third Outrunner we've lost this month. I appreciate your courage in venturing into Dawning Street. The gods need to keep a closer eye on these blasted wretched. The death of another Outrunner is a true tragedy, but it's a risk we all accept when we take the job. Magistrix Arona at the Sunspire needs to get this package to the inn at Falconwing Square, and she needs it there as soon as possible. We're short-handed, and I don't have anyone else available that can cover for us.
Anu Belore Delana. Be ready for anything.
We will persevere. Death to all who oppose us!
We will persevere. Shorel Aran.
Choose wisely. Time is of the essence.
Thank you. I do appreciate the prompt delivery. While you're here, please make yourself comfortable. If you haven't done so already, feel free to get a hearthstone and bind yourself here. Using a hearthstone will allow you to recall to an inn once every half hour. If you ever lose your hearthstone, simply return to any innkeeper will gladly get you a new one.
Farewell. Everything has a price. Salama Ashalanore. Do not loiter. Remember the Sunwell.
Enubilore Delana. Remember the sun well. The eternal sun guides us. Farewell.
Do not loiter. We will have justice.
The dark times will pass. We will have justice.
Glory to the Sindorai. Keep your wits about you. What do you seek? The reckoning is at hand.
Yes. Hold your head high.
The city of Silvermoon hereby issues a reward for the head of the Hekilis, the Hungerer, notorious wretched ringleader. He is wanted for repeated crimes against the general populace of Silvermoon City, including the murder of 2 city guards. Report to Sergeant Conran to collect the reward.
A group of wretched recently raided a supply of unstable mana crystals from one of our arcane sanctums. If not handled properly, the crystals could explode with enough force to blow a hole into the city walls. Now, adventurer, I don't quite care if they blow themselves up while tapping unstable arcane sources, but the whole incident would make my men look bad. Bring me back any remaining stolen crystals you find. They might still be inside their original crates.
Shorel Iran.
The arcane patrollers crafted by our forefathers to protect the city have fallen into a dangerous state of disrepair. They fail to recognize us as their masters and will attack us on sight. Even though they were created many years ago, the arcane cores that power them are still quite useful and valuable to us. I want you to gather these cores and bring them to me so I can put them to good use again. You will find the patrollers in the ruined section of Silvermoon, to the northwest.
Keep your wits about you.
the new Amanore?
The eternal sun guides us. Shurelaron.
Our enemies will fall.
Excellent work, adventurer. Besides the constant threat that the wretched represent, I also have to deal with all kind of fictitious reports of night elf sightings. Though most reports are unfounded, one recent incident demands further investigation. The West Sanctum, one of our primary energy sources, has suffered a terrible malfunction and rumors of Darnashian sabotage are rampant. Travel there and deal with anyone that looks suspicious. Report back to Laykeeper Valenia, who watches over the Sanctum.
Keep your wits about you.
Victory lies ahead.
You've done well, adventurer. With our arcane sanctums not operating at full capacity, these power cores will go a long way in supplementing our needs. I'm pleased to discover that you're at least somewhat competent, adventurer. I'll give you another task since you seem so eager to prove yourself. This is a letter to Laykeeper Keybinds, the Arcanist in charge of the upkeep of the North Sanctum. Go southwest of Falconwing Square, and you'll find him. He is a very important person, so I hope you don't bother him too much with trivial chatter.
Hold your head high.
Anu Belore de la Na.
That scoundrel, Thalos, finally met his fate. Good job, adventurer. Things should be quiet with the wretched for a while.
Farewell.
Baladash Malinore. Remember the sun well. We will persevere.
I'm pleased to discover that you're at least somewhat competent, adventurer. I'll give you another task since you seem so eager to prove yourself. This is a letter to Laykeeper Keybinds, the Arcanist in charge of the upkeep of the North Sanctum. Go southwest of Falconwing Square, and you'll find him. He is a very important person, so I hope you don't bother him too much with trivial chatter.
State your business.
Thank you, adventurer. I've been expecting this letter. Since you're here, adventurer, I have a favor to ask you. Lightkeeper Valenia's apprentice dropped by earlier to ask for assistance. Apparently, there's some malfunction happening at the West Sanctum. I've been a bit busy entertaining our most pleasant dwarven guest. See if you can give her a hand. You'll find the West Sanctum southwest of here.
Remember the sun well.
You, there. You must help me, please. A fellow apprentice and I were attacked by the wretched. In their mad hunger for magic, they took everything they could get their hands on. Mana crystals, wands, spell books, everything. Melidor gave chase after them. I had to stay behind and look after what they didn't take. Continue down the road and see if you can lend them a hand.
Stay the course.
They're gone now. Scared the breeches out of them with a well-placed fireball. Unfortunately for me, they threw our precious cargo into the river. Those blasted wretches sure can run fast at the sight of someone who'll stand up to them. But let's not worry about that now. I need to find my instructor's elemental grimoire. I'm certain I saw one of those cowards throw it into the river, but I cannot seem to be able to locate it. I could use...
Victory lies ahead.
The book is completely soaked. Instructor Anthiol's not going to like this at all. Here, take this money. I have an idea. Anthiol is going to fly off his rocker when he finds out his book is ruined. I've got a little proposal for you. Don't worry. I'll make it worth your while. Take this book to him and tell him nothing of this incident. If he asks, just tell him you dropped the book into a puddle. He has no direct authority over you, so there's not much he can do. Anthiol delivers his lectures at Still Whisper Pond, southeast of Silver Moon. You'll do this for us, right? I'll reward you handsomely for this favor.
The reckoning is at hand.
The black swath of soil that cuts through Eversong Woods is a permanent reminder of the day Arthas led the Scourge into our beloved city. This blemish is more than an eyesore, as even today it brings scourge from the Ghostlands to Silver Moon. Go, adventurer, and give my men a hand in killing the mindless undead that walk down the Dead Scar.
Quel'Thalas shines once again.
We don't anticipate the Scourge letting up on their attacks anytime soon, but we still appreciate any help we get guarding the Scar.
Be ready for anything.
Anaria Shola.
You say those two incompetent fools bribed you to lie to me. You've done very well in coming to me, adventurer. I hope you learn a valuable lesson today, adventurer. Never trust someone else to lie for you. Now I want you to go back to my two dim-witted students and discipline them using this wand. My magic tells me that you'll find them along the road to the west on the other side of the Dead Scar. Come back to me after you've done this. I'll give you a small reward for your troubles.
The reckoning is at hand.
Besides the constant threat that the wretched represent, I also have to deal with all kind of fictitious reports of night elf sightings. Though most reports are unfounded, one recent incident demands further investigation. The West Sanctum, one of our primary energy sources, has suffered a terrible malfunction and rumors of Darnashian sabotage are rampant. Travel there and deal with anyone that looks suspicious. Report back to Laykeeper Valenia, who watches over the Sanctum.
A new Belore Delanar.
Look around you. Things aren't exactly in order. We have a severe malfunction at the West Sanctum. Let us do our best to prevent matters from getting worse. It's about time that dimwit Keybinds sent someone this way. I warned of the dangers of increasing the load on the West Sanctum. Now, one of our energy converters is destroyed, and arcane wraiths are pouring out of the Sanctum. I'm going to need you to take care of these creatures before we send anyone in for repairs. Make haste.
The documents contain detailed maps of different strategic buildings in Eversong Woods. A diagram of an arcane sanctum is also sketched in good detail. There seem to be numerous notes in a language you don't recognize. As these were carried by a Darnassian spy, it might be a good idea to bring them to the captain of the guard, Eldon Sunbrand.
Baladash Malanore.
Thank you, adventurer. Now that we have the wraiths under control, we can send someone in to assess the damage. Hopefully this wasn't anything permanent. Night elves. Here. Those rats. Do you suppose they had anything to do with the malfunction in my sanctum? If you have any information, you'd better take it to Captain Sunbrand at once.
Remember the Sunwell.
The dark times will pass.
Are you sure you found these on a night elf? They're clearly written in Dwarven. From what I can understand of this letter, whoever wrote this did not cause the malfunction, but rather was sent here as a spy to observe the results of it. They call our endeavors reckless and dangerous. But who? Of course, that envoy from Ironforge. We were fools to trust anyone belonging to the Alliance. Listen, adventurer. This is a very delicate situation. Even though we've identified the spy, we cannot kill him out in the open. We cannot try to capture him either, as the risk of him escaping is too great. I want you to go find Prospector Anvilward at the North Sanctum and kill him. Do this in a quiet manner. We don't want word to spread that we allowed a spy into our city. Bring me his head as proof. Ironforge will learn not to meddle with the Sindure.
Remember the Sunwell.
May the gates of Quel'Thalas be open to you.